I, on behalf of NITR Chandigarh and all the participants, welcome Professor Sanjeev Sofat, and it's my proud privilege to introduce Professor Saab to the August gathering. Professor Sanjeev Sofat is presently professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Peck University of Technology, Chandigarh, and he has now more than 30 years of experience in teaching, research, and consulting. During this period, he has held the various positions of administration also, like Dean Student Affairs, Dean Academic Affairs, and Deputy Director at PEC. He has coordinated NBA accreditation work of PEC for a number of years, and based upon his professional experiences, he has been invited as the technical consultant for many prestigious projects at both state and national level, including the project on cyber crime and criminal tracking network system. He has been consulted widely and delivered presentations in many academics and high level seminars, not only in our country but also abroad in UK, Malaysia, Singapore, and many more. He is member of number of committees of AICT, UGC, and NBA, and he is also member of Margdarshak scheme of AICT for mentoring the institutes for NBA. He has visited number of institutes like NIT Trichy, NIT Warangal, and has been an expert for NBA accreditation. He is also very well uh, involved in the research activities and has more than 75 research publications in various journals of repute. And he has also published 3 books and guided 11 PhD students. And presently also he is in the uh, process of guiding number of students for their doctorate. So we are so much delighted to have you, sir, here, and we are looking forward to good session, which will be useful for all the participants. Sir, participants are from engineering colleges and also from polytechnics and from the they are from Tamil Nadu also and Chennai from Meerut and from Manav Rachna. So entire coverage of country has been covered, and many participants from Jalandhar also and Pagwada. So many participants are there. So participants are well versed with OBE, and yesterday we had two sessions on OBE model and curriculum design and implementation, keeping in mind OBE. So we look towards your session, sir, and thank you again for being with us. And now I would request to take over the session.
Thank you, Dr. Meenakshi, for such a elaborative introduction, which I don't know whether I deserve it or not. That's how we take it. But still, yes, I was involved for NBA and other places there. So I got to know you're from different polytechnics, engineering colleges across the country, where you would like to know how outcome-based education is there for the curriculum development. Because maybe Dr. Meenakshi Sood might have talked to you about, maybe or some other expert might have talked to you about outcome-based education. Now, outcome-based education has got a certain phases. Let's say initially we say, usually we say, okay, the moment a student would like to come to your program, the first question he asks you is, why should I do it? Right? Because we are doing a lot of counseling, we are doing a lot of things like this. The first question is, then they say, okay, the moment you do this particular program, this will be outcome of this. What do you mean by outcome? Then let's say for a student perspective, outcome is he will be able to get an employment somewhere. Let's say it's true for all the courses. So whether he does engineering, whether he does diploma, whether he does graduation, whether he does aviation, idea is he would like to find out from you where exactly I'll get into the things. That means that is the outcome for him. As far as the student is concerned, outcome for him is where he will get the employment once he does this particular thing, right? No, this is what we say the outcome base. Now, let's say if I look at the institute perspective, they also want to say something. Yes, okay, the moment somebody does this particular program, he will have this particular skills. He will have his attitude. He will have his knowledge. That means the moment he does this particular program, there is some amount of knowledge which will imparted. There is some amount of skills which will get. Then some amount of attitudinal things which will he have it. So for the institute, once he conducts a program, these are the outcome which are there. Now, then next question comes, okay, how these outcomes are to be achieved. Let's say you imagine a program of a diploma in computer science, right? Now, can I take up some courses of civil engineering in that? You'll say, what a stupid thing you're telling me in the morning. No, because the moment I plan up a course, I have to think of what exactly is to be imparted. I say you have to impart the knowledge. Then can I say all the knowledge related to civil engineering, I'll package into one and give it to him? No, I can't. Because I had to think about, along with the civil engineering, along with the what sort of other things he requires. Maybe he requires mathematics, he requires physics, he requires chemistry, he requires some knowledge of, let's say, if I would like to make somebody as a computer science graduate, in case I don't teach him any basics of electrical engineering, where will he fit into? That means some amount of electrical engineering has to be taught to him. Then some amount of a workshop has to be conducted for him. So I think of all these things. So that means once I say he's to be imparted some knowledge, he's to be imparted some skills, he's to be imparted some attitudinal things there. Now, can I think of a subject where attitude will change? Yes, if I ask Dr. Garima, if I ask you, can I have a course where his attitude gets a change? In case you can unmute yourself, Garima.
Yes, sir. That's a thoughtful question, sir. But I think it's the way we would plan the course, how we are actually planning it would make the change in the attitude of the student. It's the process, I think, that would make an impact there.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Garima. It's basically, I can't have a course like that where the attitude will change. In this process of a teaching, I had to work out what sort of attitude he's got. Let's say, if I would like to make him a positive thinker, if I would like to make him a critical thinker, if I would like to make him a good human being, and if I wanted to make him a team player, so these are some of the things which are related to his attitude. Now, if I have to build up this sort of thing, I may not be having any course for that. So that means whatever knowledge, whatever skills I'm doing, that this once I impart that knowledge, once I impart that skills, attitude changes should happen of its own. Let's say one sort of a teaching is, okay, a teacher goes to the class, he teaches there for 1 hour, comes back, after a semester, he evaluates them. He doesn't realize whether he has learned anything or not. Yes, this model was there earlier, maybe 10, 15 years back. This is the model. Okay, yes, we were doing this way only. Now, after completing the course, only then the teacher realized whether he's got anything to learn in this process or not. At what time he learned this? Once you take up exam, your only yardstick is, okay, your exam is there. where you will find out whether he learned anything in this particular process or not. Now, if that is the case, okay, at the end of the semester, I got to know whether he's learned anything or not. There's nothing like remedial thing I can do. Because can I tell him, okay, you repeat this particular semester because you couldn't learn it? If 40%, 50% of your students flunk in a test, can there be some remedial measure for that? There can't be. So that's why we came up with the continuous evaluation. What's the continuous evaluation? Let's say I teach up a one, because this is a new concept which is coming up now very fast. Okay, the moment I take up one class, let me take 5 minutes and give a quiz out of that. Whether he is able to understand the basic concept or not, I can find out from the quiz only. So let's say I gave him a quiz. I know there are 20% of the students who are not able to know the exact thing. Then what can be the remedy for me? Maybe next day I can repeat the things for the next 15 minutes. As compared to I get to know about this once a semester is over. Now, let's say in the earlier time, the technology was not available. This sort of technology was not available where you will be able to have a quiz, then evaluate it, and then find out whether he is understood or not. But now these days we have got this sort of technologies. Maybe I'll share my experience with you. Okay, we are to conduct a quiz. What we do is we use some platform, maybe Google Class or some where I can impart this sort of test. Then again, I don't take them anywhere. What I tell them is, because these days every student has got a smartphone, I tell them, okay, you have this particular test on your mobiles. Because if I ask the teachers, okay, can you take up this sort of a quiz, while they say no, we have to take them to computer center. Computer center may not be available. So this is a new technology which every teacher have to adopt, where okay, curriculum is there, imparting is there. How exactly that curriculum is to be imparted? Can I think about okay, making that quiz, asking the students to appear for the quiz in the classroom only, 5-10 minutes quiz within the class only, and the student will be able to, and within no time you will be able to find out whether students have understood it or not. If let's say 100% of your students are able to score 100% marks, what will you say? You will not say you have done wonderful. You say your test was very obvious, right? But the moment I say, okay, there are 80% of the students who are able to score more than 80% of the marks, that means the teaching which has been imparted to those students were pretty good. And there may be 5 to 10% of the student who will be slow learner. Why should I disturb my whole class for those 5 to 10% of the student? Let me have some remedial classes for them. Because these days, once a NBA team comes, these are two things they try to find out: whether you have taught something beyond the syllabi, or whether you have taken some remedial classes. Because in the earlier time, it was very difficult to find out who was a slow learner, who was a fast learner. But now these days, with this sort of technology available, we can find out within no time, okay, these are the students where they need some sort of extra care as far as the students are concerned. So this is what is technology bringing to you while you have to impart the things. So this is what we say. First of all, I define what sort of program I have got. As I said, as far as the students are concerned, their objective is to get a placement or get some useful employment, some sort of Either they can have their own entrepreneurship skills, develop their, open up their own things, or they get a job. But the moment I have to think about a program, one of my objective is they should have got a knowledge, skills, and the attitude changes into that. How exactly I do it? It's my curriculum part. Then, as I said, how it's that's where the teacher role comes in a way. How exactly our curriculum has to be designed? Because there are so many models there. Maybe AICT has come out with their own model. What they say is, okay, the one is a broader perspective of your course. How many credits are there? Let's say there is a lot of debate which is there. How many credits should be there for a program? Maybe there are some who says you should put all sort of technical skills for the students. Maybe they think about it because those were the earlier thoughts. Okay, think about the 220 as a credits for the student. What used to happen in this sort of a curriculum design was student all the time was there in the classes or in the labs. Neither they were able to have something critical thinking, nor they were doing any project, nor they were anything. So then the concept came while designing the curricula as outcome-based education only, I should give some time to the students also. So what was done in this particular process was there was emphasis was upon reducing the number of credits. So my curriculum design journey in the outcome education has moved from increasing the breadth of the students to giving the appropriate way how to learn the things.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Are you sharing your screen, sir?
I'll be sharing later.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I hope that is fine because I wanted to have some discussions.
Absolutely.
All right.
Fine.
So yes, we were on this particular point only. How exactly this credit system has to be there. Whether it's a 170 credit, 200 credit, or 250 credit. So there is another journey which has taken by the curricula. Over the years, people have thought of, instead of giving him all sort of a breadth of a course, can I think about giving him a part of the things there? Let's say, because then there came the concept, can I think about the core courses in a branch? So what is the yardstick these days for a curriculum design is, think about, okay, you think about, okay, for the core courses, let's say there will be 60 credits in the whole of the semester, 60 credits for the core, and let's say 20 credit for the open electives, then 20 credits for the department elective, and then allied branches, let's say 30 credit. Like this, people have made a framework there. So what we say is AICT has come out with a model curricula there. I hope some of you might have seen it. How many have seen the AICT model curriculum which is there on their sites? Either you can just message me or you can tell me. Yes. You can just message me how many of you seen the AICT curriculum. Yes. Or you can switch on, then you tell me how many of you seen this. Sonam has seen this curricula. Sonam, what is the curriculum you have seen?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning,
Am I
Jay.
audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible.
Sir, actually, I'm from APJ Satya University. So we actually following this kind of curriculum, credit-based system. We have a core courses, which is of 30 credits, open elective, which is of 10 credits in engineering, basically,
Yeah.
and 80 credits for the degree courses. So we are just following this from the past 10 to 12 years.
Okay, that's great. Because this is what the new concept which is there, which is being
Yes,
not
sir.
in the traditional universities, it is taking a lot of a time as far as this concept, people are not able to accept it. Because what
Yes,
we
sir,
want,
sir.
What
We
is
also face
required
this
is,
problem, sir, initially.
obviously, people, there were traditional teacher who will say, no, why should not my subject shouldn't be there, because this is
Yes,
usually
sir.
the issues. Why not my course? Why not his course or her course? And it becomes a issue as far as the curriculum design is concerned. So this is
Yes, sir.
what is the new concept. Think of, okay, these are the, as she says, okay, let's say 120 credit or 100 credit courses, and then along with that you do the project work. So that way learning is much better as compared to this particular aspect there. So we have talked about what is the student perspective as far as the outcome based education is concerned. Then we have talked about what exactly are the things which has to be imparted to the student as knowledge, skills, and the attitude which is there. Then based on that, NBA has framed his program objective. They have framed up A to K 12 objective which are there. Maybe if you're not seeing it, just go through their NBA site. You will get to know what are the outcomes which are expected. Now, once we have got these outcomes, now we have to imagine what are the courses which can be there through which I can have this sort of a credits. I can have this particular objective which can be attained there. So then we think about all the courses. As we were discussing, it's related to some credits you have to define. And then based on the credits, you have to think about, okay, these are the courses which will be there in this particular curricula there. Now, then another phase of this curricula is imparting this curriculum, because that is another most important component as far as the curriculum is concerned. We adopt a curriculum for all the international universities without realizing whether this particular curriculum will fit into the Indian context or not, whether it will fit into my regional context or not. Because I can't imagine something, okay, for whole of the India this thing will be there. But if in case there is a framework there, I have to fit myself into that particular framework that can help me out there. So this is what we say a process of the outcome based education, and how exactly curriculum development will help me in this particular aspect there. Maybe I'll start with some of the things which I had talked to you. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is what we planned up. Okay, we'll talk about some aspect of a outcome based education, how exactly it is to be used for the curriculum development. This is what we'll try to work out on. You might have heard about this program objective. I had just discussed learning outcome which are there. So what exactly is a outcome based education is, my test of learning is what the learner can do. So while I frame any curricula, I have to think about what the learner will be able to do in this particular process there. Then one is my test of a learning. Then my test of education is how the learner will behave. So that's where your attitude comes. Okay, the moment I impart education, I send him to the industry. How will he behave there? So these are two tests which we say, test of learning, test of education, which are the outcome for any curriculum there. So what we want is engineering graduate to fit members of a regular organized technological society, provide science-based solutions to societal needs, problem, challenges, and the issues. So what we are looking for is from our, based on our curriculum there, okay, whether they will be able to provide the solutions for the societal needs, problems, and the challenges and the issues. Now you go to industry, all the time there will be some issues which will be there. Can I handle those? One is technological issue. Okay, let's say somebody asks you to make a system. Your technology is involved there. You will build up that particular system, no problem. But how will you? Another is how will you behave? Let's say you are being a team leader and you are to given a problem for the solution. Now, can I think about how exactly I will behave in a team? Am Because this is a most common thing which most of the industry people feel. Okay, as an individual, this fellow is doing wonderful, but as a team member, he's not able to do much. That is true with the Indians. That is true with the what the industry says about this. Okay, we have to build up how exactly he has to behave in sort of a circumstances there. So this is what any engineering diploma or any graduate to look into. Only then he will be, because what we need is a fit member of the regularly organized society. Fit member is, okay, there is a society there. Society has got its own norms. Society has got its own protocols. He has to fit into that particular norm protocols there. If you say, no, I don't care about this, any society will throw him out of the system there. Any system, in case I don't fit into the system will automatically throw me out. So this is the general definition of a system or a society there. So this is what we are looking for, some fit members of the society. What is the essence? This is what you might have gone through outcome-based education also. What should the student be able to do successfully at the learning experience? Whatever they have learned, learning will be there from the curriculum only. What sort of competencies are developed there while designing the curricula? Why we make the instructions? Why we make the assessment to make it happen? Okay, because let's say I design a wonderful curricula, but I don't have got a teachers to teach it. I don't have got a resources to access them. Then I'll not be able to impart that particular curriculum in the spirit in which the curriculum has been made. This is the usual problem which we face, because we try to make a curricula across all the places. So maybe if we look at Northeast, if I try to give the same curricula, may not fit into the curriculum which I try to give in the West. So you have to think about a framework of a curricula in which you have to fit into your things based on their local needs also. So that's what we say. Outcome is key things students should understand and do. This is what our focus is. And our focus, the outcome-based education has shifted our focus from teaching to learning, mere skills to reason thinking, content to the processes, teacher instruction to the student demo. How this thing has to be taken care of is, if I have got a curriculum which fit into this sort of things there. Okay, let's say I would like to say, okay, instead of giving the more content, I would like to give him a processes. How can I do it? If I give him a projects, that means in case my curriculum is project oriented, then it can do a good job there as compared to if I just do all sort of a teaching there. Then what sort of processes are there? Let's say I define the milestone for the project there. After every week, this project is to be evaluated. Just like in case of a curricular subject teaching also, what I suggested is, can I think about some sort of a quiz for 5 minutes within your class only, where you're not to disturb your class. Think about the technology. Ask your students, come out with their mobiles. You allow the test to happen and let them appear for the test within 5 minutes in the class only. So that means we have worked on a process there. Then teacher instruction to student demos. The moment I think of a project-based learning, because this is another topic which I used to talk to the teachers. Okay, can I think of a project-based learning? Then what we can do in this particular process is, while designing the curricula, if I'm giving more emphasis on the projects, then I can combine 2 to 3 courses of a semester and design a project there. So that's where teachers' creativity will come into the picture. Okay, this is how a project is to be designed, and there are 2-3 courses which are combined. Just like in case of I asked the students to make an app. Maybe in case of a computer science student, every semester I can ask them to make an app. So in this particular process, his software engineering will be used, his particular skill will be used, and then database will be used, and UI will be used in this particular process there. And he demonstrates you that. Instead of a teacher teaching a course on mobile app development, let him develop some sort of app so that students are able to show that particular thing there. So what we do, when we have to design a curricula, what we have to do is we have defined the program objective as we say in the outcome-based education. Then for each of the course, I have to determine the objective. Students usually say, why should I learn this particular course? Because I still remember in our BTech program, we introduced environmental engineering maybe 15 years back. At the time, most of our computer science students used to say, why should I learn this environmental engineering? What is the scope which is there? Now, can you imagine most of the things which are people are developing, they are working on the environment only. So that's what we say. You determine objective for each of the course. What we say is for each of the course, you have to define certain course objective and the course outcome there. Okay, the moment I impart this particular course, how exactly what exactly I'll do after doing this particular course? How do I test? And you have to think of what sort of a learning experience you would like to have to achieve this particular objective there. Okay, if I have to have some objective, what should I be able to? How exactly I take up that particular aspect there? Now, then organization of these learning experience for continuity and sequencing. This is the most important component as far as curriculum development is concerned. Now, let's say you got a course which requires certain prerequisites. Can I teach that particular course before prerequisites? I can't. So that means there has to be some logical sequence as far as this particular subjects are concerned. So that means organization of these at least for continuity and the sequence there is required. So this is what we say, determination of the extent to which achieved. That is again a curriculum part only. Okay, how much achievement have been done in this particular course there? How do we do it? Maybe anyone who would like to put a light upon this, how do you find out whether the student has learned a course or not? Because this is what we say is the learning experiences. Yes, any faculty who can just share how exactly they find out whether somebody has learned the course or not. Yeah, you have to come out. Yes. Yes. Arpana says through assessment you try to do it. Kalpana says short test you will able to do it. Manju says through student instruction you would like to do. Yes. You would like to find out taking small tests or conducting practical exam. That's good. Maybe quickly can you put up this thing in your chat window? Because this is what you're doing in your classes. Because I could see there are 87 people who are sitting. Yes, quiz. Yes, Garima says through the application and understanding of the topic in real life problem. Yes, that's the most important, Garima. Okay, can I correlate my teaching to the real life problem? Because obviously, what we say is, okay, what sort of a learning is there? Whether he has learned it up to the, because there is a Bloom's taxonomy there. Okay, whether he has just remembered it or he's just gone for the better one there. Now, how exactly I can say it? He's gone to the real time problem. Now, can I take up a problem? One says he learned the concept, applies the concept in the known problem, then he afterwards he goes to the unknown world. This is what we say is the complexity of the learning. Okay, in a real life problem, in case he does this, that will help you in solving the industrial problem also. Yes, Mukul Mahajan says through quick quiz after every delivered lecture. I will be very happy in case this sort of a concept can be implemented there. Maybe regular assessment is always there. What else? Maybe then we got a learning if we would like to test. Okay, then it is through the type of questions also it depends. Okay, let's say if my course is a bridge design, I keep on asking what is a bridge design in my courses, in my evaluation, and he keeps on writing essay upon that. But have I achieved my objective in that? No, because my objective was he at the end of the course he should learn how to design a bridge. Then if I would have given him a problem through which he solved that particular exercise, and then I evaluate him, maybe then my objective is achieved in a better way as compared to the earlier ones there. So this is what the most important component as far as the evaluation is concerned. Yes, Manju says practical application of the topic. Yeah, this is most important. Okay, how exactly this particular aspect can be applied on to the topic there. That's good. Thank you. Okay, I hope screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is what we say for every curriculum. We have to see what is the extent to which learning experience have been achieved in this particular case there. Because this is what once you go for the NBA accreditation, this is what you have to find out whether whatever is there, whether that particular learning objective has been there or not. So this is what we say is a system approach to assessment. You got a curricula, you got an instruction, you got a learning process, and you after that you got a continuous quality improvement there. So this is what we say is the cyclic approach. It's an iterative approach in the curriculum design also. Okay, let's say a teacher teaches a course. He realizes while teaching a course, okay, this particular content is not required, or there is more emphasis upon this content, or there is little emphasis upon the content. That is the instruction says. Then he gives this feedback to the curriculum people, and the curriculum gets revised accordingly. Maybe it depends upon in which sort of an institute we are. Let's say just like in our institute or some of the good institutes which are there, we can modify the curriculum while we are teaching. Instructor has got this sort of a liberty. He can modify the curriculum and say minor modification is done while teaching this course, and he can just report there. He need not go to any system, because let's say in case of a typical board system or a university system, in case curriculum has been made, it has to be imparted in that way only. But in this particular case, your continuous quality improvement comes at a very slow pace as compared to in case it's the instructor dependent. That's why in their new education policy which is there, it's a very difficult task which they thought of. Can we remove these affiliation systems there? Can we think about autonomous institute? At least let there be academic autonomy to the institute, so that they frame their own curricula based on the local needs and impart this sort of instructions accordingly. So maybe it's a great task in case maybe by they say 30 or so, we would like to come out with affiliation systems there. So how exactly this thing is to be done? Because they would like there should be autonomy as far as the curriculum development, delivery, and continuous quality improvement is concerned. Maybe this somebody might have talked to you. You have got a mission, vision, program, education objective. This is what we have talked to you also. Program outcome, course learning outcomes, and the curriculum development is concerned about this course learning outcome of the subjects there. Program outcome is a derivative of this course learning outcome there. Maybe I'll not go into the program education objectives there, because this is what you might have seen there. Then this is what I was talking to you. This is a program outcome. We say it's a A2K, because from where they have taken it, they have taken it from the EBIT there. So this is what we say is the attributes are we have to work for the continuous quality improvement there. So each POs and PO to be assessed through some key performance parameter which are there. Maybe we don't have got a very big things through. Maybe somebody might have talked to you about this. I'll not go into detail of this. So this is the process which is there. Okay, you got an input, faculty, curriculum, labs, info, and the resources. Now, out of this, major is your curriculum and the person who will going to impart that, and then infrastructure which is there. So these are the three inputs which goes into any program: your faculty, your curriculum, and the infrastructure which is there. Then your curriculum, they define these processes, teaching and learning coursework. Okay, how this teaching and learning will be there as far as this particular course is concerned, this is defined by them only. So then there are, we say the A2K statement has to be taken care by this particular process is there. Maybe we look for stakeholder satisfaction and expectation, and this is what your NBA is looking for. Okay, satisfaction of the employer, industry, academic, student, and the alumni. So this whole thing is based upon this particular part only: process, teaching, and the learning and the coursework, which comes from the curriculum there. Maybe I'm not going to detail of this. Yes, this is the most important component which is there. Okay, you have got your own PEOs, you have got your own POs for the program. Then based on the POs, what we do is we try to have a curriculum designed in this particular case. Now for each of the course, we try to define this outcomes. What sort of outcome will be there? Now, then we, based on once a course has been delivered, we analyze. Based on the analysis, there is again quality improvement which happens into this particular process there. So this whole process is iterative, where you impart a course, then it is analyzed, and then continuous quality improvement is there in this sort of a course there. Now, this is true in case of, because your core subject outcomes is what is being decided by the POs there. Now, again, POs are assessed based on feedback which we get, analyzed, and continuous improvement is there in them also. So this is what we say is a cyclic process. And whatever is the POs there, again, we go for the assessment and we analyze, and a continuous improvement is there in this case there. So this is a nutshell what we say is a program where we have got a curricula which is core subject outcome which is there. Once we impart this particular course, we analyze and improve the quality in that particular aspect there. So that's what we say. Okay, initially we used to say after every 10 years the curriculum should revise. Now we say a curriculum should go for only one cycle, and then we should think of revision of that. Why we are thinking about that? Reason is because one is I would like to give a new things to the students. Another is the industry is changing very fast. Because if you look at all revolutions which has happened, green revolution, white revolution, industrial revolutions, IT revolution. So if I look at the initial revolution which happened, we took around 10-15 years for the next revolution. Maybe in the world it was there, but adoption of that particular revolution in Indian context was very slow. If you look at the time, once a PC came in India, those were already available in the other part of the world. I still remember while I started my career in computing, maybe in 84 or 85, I was there in Nitter only. We got a BBC computers. We used to say BBC computers. Can you imagine? Those were the systems which had become obsolete in Europe and came in India. So that means what was happening was whatever technology was becoming obsolete in the other part of the world, European or American world, was coming to India. And can you imagine semiconductor electronics? Those of you who've seen this SCL in Chandigarh or Mohale, they were the ones who start working on the making those sort of chips there, so that India can become dependent, maybe independent there. So now you can see the technology which was there, which has become obsolete in a particular part of the world, has come to India, and we start developing it. This sort of obsolescence continued for quite a few years. Then only slowly, now we are at the par. So that's why this course subject outcome analysis and continuous improvement, the phase has reduced a lot. As we say, in one cycle of the course, content has to be revised. There's another philosophy which has come up for the computing courses there. Okay, don't make a curriculum for all the 4 years. Make a curriculum for first year, impart it, then go for making the second year curricula. Then make the third year curricula, then fourth year curriculum. Why we are doing that? because in emerging technologies, this is how the curriculum is being made. Because let's say if I plan it for the 4 years today only, after 4 years, what sort of technology will be there? I don't know. So this is another philosophy as far as curriculum making is concerned. Think of making a curriculum per year, every year, so that what sort of analysis you perform, your continuous quality improvement is there. So this is what we say a curriculum. And then again, we come to the first year. And it's a cyclic process. It keeps on improving in this particular process there. Maybe visa mission, I'm not going into this. So this is what we say mission and a vision as far as these programs are concerned. Is this is a POs, I'm not going through this. This is what is important. Prescribe a small core and the basic requirement. This is what we see the outcome-based model of design of the curricula there. Think of a small core. Somebody from the private university gave me this thing. We are going for a very small number of core courses. Yes, this is the what is being prescribed now. Prescribe basic parameter for the goals of the program, but don't be specific to the goals of the program there. Maybe let's say focus on the goals and objective of the program. Let's say we would like to have the number of graduates who continue to manufacturing service industry or graduate school there. Earlier days, engineering never used to be the service industry. But now with the computing around, it has become a service industry. There are companies who are making products, and there are a company who are doing the projects there. Project-based companies are service-oriented companies. Product companies are just like Windows is a product. Google Web is a product there. This is how IT industry has been divided. Good or bad, India has gone in the service industry where manpower requirement is very high as compared to we see the manufacturing there. So what we have to do is, can I enable my people to do some of the services there? Maybe there to maximum number of graduates who become a program managers there in the construction industry. So this is what we have got curriculum there. I talked to you about this. All your program outcomes, they are attained through the course module or a group of a course module. Let's say there can be one outcome, program outcome, which is attained by 3 courses. And there can be one outcome which can be attained by 5 courses. There can be one outcome which can be just attained by half of the course. So this is what has to be defined in the scenario there. And then we define the outcome. What sort of achievable outcome for a course module and or a group of a course. Okay, let's say in case I teach up this course, what sort of outcome will be there in this case. Then I have to think about what sort of additional content beyond the syllabi. Let's say I know there will be students who will be weak in mathematics. Part of the some students who will be weak in mathematics. I must have got a capsule course for improving the skill in the mathematics there. So this is additional content beyond the syllabus there. I know my students who are coming from the rural area, may not be good in English. I test the competence of those students and find out who are not good in English and give a capsule course as far as English is concerned, public speaking is concerned. So these are some of the additional content beyond the syllabus which you have to be framed while you're designing the curriculum there. Maybe in our case, in PEC, what we do is we conduct a competence test there, competencies test, which we say. And in case you're not able to have that competencies, then we try to work out on your competence in that particular aspect there. So then how to make a provision for the additional code content? Then comes your SWAM or other portals through which there can be additional content which can be given to the students there. I may not be able to teach everything to the students, but yes, in case I give them this sort of option, you do this course of your own. That can be one of the way through which you can make this sort of a provision for the additional content there. So the next important, once we have made the curriculum, next important component is your assessment. That is again a process to identify, collect and prepare data to evaluate the achievement of the program outcome and the program education objective. Because ultimately we come to the program outcomes there. From each of the course, we try to do this sort of a assessment part there. Maybe this is what I thought I'll talk to you. Maybe now I'm open for the questions. Can we have some questions? Yes. You can just send me through this chat window, or you can just unmute yourself and have the discussion question about this. Makul says, all good, sir. Okay. Thank you, Makul. Or can you just type out what's the takeaway from my session? One is, in case you got some question, you can do ask me the question, or you what sort of takeaway were there from this particular session which we had today. Manju says updated learning there. That's good. Yes. Just type it on your window, chat window. Yes, teaching and learning strategies will help us to improve all the overall teaching. Yes, because our focus is shifting from teaching to the learning. Earlier, our focus was teaching. Now our focus is shift to learning. So we have to strategize accordingly there, and that will help us in overall teaching there. That's good. Yes, some more messages. Yes, Richa has raised up a very important aspect. How can we effectively improve overall learning and teaching related to real world problems? This is what we say is a project based learning. This is a very important topic as far as the present day engineering is concerned. In case we correlate with the projects, what a NBA or worldwide education technology suggests, you have a project every semester where what you do is you try to combine 2-3 courses. From the course, you think about a real-time problem which he solved, and then he presents it. In this particular process, what will happen? His presentation skills will improve, his English will improve, and his understanding of the problem will improve in this case there. Now, you might have heard of this. Okay, even every ministry these days, they are taking some interns. What are these intern program which is there? Okay, they would like that people get to know what is actually happening in the world around. Yes, Manju is very right. Curriculum update is required according to the current scenario. I can't think of a 10 years old curriculum and being imparted now. Now, Garima says the modification should be implemented by the core course curriculum, teaching and evaluation, because these are the three important components, Garima, which are there as far as outcome-based education is there. One is good curriculum, then imparting this curriculum, then evaluating this curriculum. Because I can't think of a good curriculum as the only thing. I have to think about how exactly this curriculum is to be evaluated also. So that will obviously improve the learning experience for every student there. And this is precisely what we say is the outcome-based learning there. That's good, Garima. Message from some other? Okay, then if there is no further point of discussion, maybe then we stop here. Dr. Meenakshi, if she around.
Yes, sir, I'm here only, sir.
Okay, Dr. Meenakshi. Maybe if we had discussion, we had delivered the talk.
Sir, I have one query.
Sure.
Yeah. Sir, you said that the curriculum should be designed year-wise,
Yes,
right?
that's a
First
new
year,
concept which is
second.
coming up very fast, especially
Okay.
for the emerging areas.
Yeah, emerging areas is okay because technology is upgrading or upscaling very fast. In
Mhm.
a year or so, so many new technologies come, or some emerging areas come which have to be taught to our graduate students. For that, I think we keep the program electives because they are flexible, or the MOOC courses now which we are coming up with. So MOOC courses are also more into the emerging areas, and program electives also. In if you see the AICT model also, much of the stress is given on program elective and beginning from even fourth semester.
Yeah.
Earlier we used to keep in seventh, sixth, seventh, eighth semester, but now they suggest that the program elective should be from fourth, because keeping in mind that if the technology some new areas are coming, so the students are not stuck with the pre-decided subjects,
Yeah.
and those buckets are always flexible. So but like you said, every year, then the concept of framing the program outcomes, the like framing of curriculum involves first putting the program outcomes of the entire program, and then defining the course outcomes, and then with the vertical and horizontal integration we decide the subjects, actual the like curriculum engineering, if I say so. But if we go year by year, then the proper flow, I doubt. Like for the concepts, for the conceptual subjects or the basics subjects, that may be okay, because we know that in first year we have to teach, like in electronics, we these subjects are mandatory. In second year communications is mandatory, third year power electronics, that is okay. But otherwise, don't you think proper flow of subjects should be there till fourth year?
I would put it this way: you have answered your things also, because what this curriculum making is, what we are thinking about these days is, think of a bare minimum core there.
Yeah.
Think of
Huh.
an open elective, think of a
Huh.
electives. Then what we say is these are the basket of the courses. Then
Yes. Huh.
because there should be flexibility there. Okay, in case in the second, let's say while framing the curriculum in the first year, I thought about the open elective and the department elective there. But the
Hmm.
moment I'm there in the third year, there is some new courses comes up there.
Right. Huh.
Then I should have got the flexibility there where I can add up that particular into that
Yes,
particular
that
basket.
I agree.
I think
That
that's
is
how
why, yes.
now that's how this particular year-wise curriculum making has been implemented in this particular way there.
Yeah, that flexibility, and
That
now with,
flexibility is what we are
yes,
building up.
with the
I,
new this NEP, that flexibility is much more than the
right,
conventional curriculum design which we people are doing. That flexibility should be there. That is, always there should be chance to pitch in new courses,
right.
so that to keep in pace with the either technology or keep in pace with the requirement of the industry also.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what is required because I can't think
Otherwise,
of.
some framework, a basic structure of the curriculum should be designed, so that we know that this much of core subjects, this much
Yes,
of interdisciplinary,
yeah,
this much of say humanities, and this much of the elective. And
yeah.
elective should be given wider, space, starting from the fourth semester itself, so that 2 years, when now, because concept of major and minor is also there.
Mhm.
It's not only one degree which a student can attain. Student can have a major degree by attaining some credits. Like if you have 200 credits for BTech, so say 150 or 140 credits can be particular to a course uh, for which the student is attaining major, say major in computer science, and rest of the credits he can attain as the minor. I am in the BOS of Thapar University. There we have designed like major in computer science and minor in psychology,
Yes,
right? So, and because if you are dealing with the image processing or robotics or artificial intelligence or computer vision for that matter, then a student of computer science, if he has knowledge of psychology, right, in as a minor, then he will be very easily be able to understand and correlate that what artificial intelligence or computer vision has to do, or for human emotion recognition, that type of thing. So major and minor, so there is lot of flexibility which has to be provided in the curriculum in the coming times.
yes,
And there, this modular concept which sir has mentioned, year wise or module wise, flexibility of curriculum design should be there.
yes. Agree with you because this is how the flexibility in the curriculum has to built in from the
Yes,
start itself.
yes, sir. Right.
Because earlier time we used to have a very hard curricula.
Yes,
There
very,
was no
very,
elective,
yeah.
no open elective, and we used to say, okay, these are the courses which has to go through.
Yeah, that was very strict discipline
Yeah,
oriented curriculum we had, that if I get into electronics, and it may be like pressure of parents or pressure of society, that
yeah,
whosoever takes electronic, he is more intelligent than somebody taking electrical or mechanical or civil. And then throughout my life I have to read and study electronics only. I
yeah.
will not have any knowledge about computers or some humanities. But now the time is changing with
Yeah,
that.
that I agree. Because even job scenario is also changing a
Yeah,
lot. Nobody is saying I'm going for electronics engineering. If you look at the job scenario also around the nation only, ki job scenario is shifting to software consultancy, consulting, and other things there. So this is also happening, which is making our curriculum to be in this particular aspect there.
yeah. So, any other questions or queries, or somebody wants to put forth his point of view?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So with this, we can break for the next session. So I would like to thank Professor Sofat for such a nice presentation, and more than the presentation, the practical aspects and the with the experience which he has dealing with the various NBA and also for the curriculum design and all. Sir gives a very you can correlate what you people are doing in your departments. You can very well correlate that how to go with and what problems we face, and what are the actual in-depth meaning of these all concepts which otherwise would have been put in a form of a presentation. So thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr.
And
Meenakshi,
yeah.
for inviting. Thanks all. It was a very wonderful people whom are addressing.